Hello, my dear Aquarius. This is your love and spirituality reading for the time between June 1st and June 15, 2018, with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. I read for the signs in the order of most liked videos, so don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and show the love. I have put astrological information for the month of June in a video of its own that you can check out in my playlist Q&A. You can also find it at my webpage www.queenofcupstarot.se. The reading can go both ways. The message is for the people who watch it, so if you cross-watch for another sign and recognize yourself as the main person of the reading, just trust your own intuition and you will get the message you need. I have added a new deck to my general readings that I have used successfully for my private clients for long periods. The lovely Osho Sen I will use for the more spiritual mid-month readings. It took a little bit too much of my energy since it comes so many jumping cards and messages, so I need to use it for shorter spreads. The new deck is the Druid Craft Tarot by Philip and Stephanie Cargome, illustrated by Will Worthington. So, I will start shuffling your cards. And when I open your deck here, Aquarius, I see the 9 of Pentacles and 7 of Pentacles. So it seems like you're still in a situation where you're trying to heal yourself and where you're kind of not ready for going out in social life with full bloom, but you're kind of preparing for it. It's a person here taking down the mistletoe for the mid-winter festivals, Yule. It's the mistletoe you can kiss underneath it. So 9 of Pentacles is about self-love. It's about taking really good care of yourself, maybe feng shuiing your house and your garden, so it will be having a real good energy. So also about taking care of the inside of you, and taking like real good care of yourself, pampering yourself, but also stubbornly standing on your side. 7 of Pentacles, it's a card about divine timing, that sometimes when something we want doesn't come immediately, it's all about divine timing. Something needs to grow first. The job that you are after might need to come in a position where people are being employed, okay, so they have a need for new employments, or the guy or the girl that you are supposed to end up with needs to be ready, maybe coming out of like mourning a earlier partner, or coming back from a like world travel or something like that. So if life is a little bit boring, it's just it's usually a little bit lonely like this when we need to be more for ourselves, because kind of the divine wants to speak with us and we need to find ourselves, so we can't be so outwardly oriented in these cases. Okay, so I call the divine with love and light. And here we see the moon also with 9 of Pentacles. So the moon is 18, 1 plus 8 is 9. So it seems like this pause is might be taking its toll on you. So if the thought of being alone or not being productive is making your hair stand on end, then there's a dog buried here, okay, and you need to check out what that dog wants to say to you, because when we get very scared about things, different things, or we feel very suspicious about something, or we get triggered by something, it usually has a certain meaning to it. 18, the moon, it's a subconscious place where your answers can be found, but you need to go to really dark and mysterious places to find the answers. So usually it's finding out where it hurts and go there, because this is usually the gateway down to the answer. It's the book of knowledge that sometimes is written with trauma and blood, but you already made a sacrifice, so you might at least get the knowledge out of whatever you have been through that's now stored here as a memory, maybe in the subconscious. Okay. So I call the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world. And here we have Queen of Pentacles with Nine of Pentacles. So both these cards are Virgo. They are connected to the Hermit stage. And it's about, both are about self-love. The Rabbit is also about, it's spirituality, but it's a vulnerable transition in spirituality where you feel, where you still are not in the know, but you are about to get to know, and just this phase might be a little bit unsettling and make you worried and feel vulnerable or exposed in some way. Queen of Pentacles, as I said, in Virgo, can be a Taurus and a Capricorn also in your life, or someone that's very nurturing but might be in a state that where they need to take care of themselves now. So it might also be that your friends and family seems to preoccupied and not have the same time as they had for you before, but it's just so that they leave you alone for this transformation process, and you leave them alone for their transformation process. So it might be a lot going on internally for you and other people in your surrounding. So, and the wall here is about putting boundaries, because the Queen of Pentacles isn't that good in putting boundaries. She can be a real workhorse and also doing like everything for everyone else. We have the protection symbol here on her drum, and so she's drumming something of protection. So I'm thinking she is drumming up better boundaries for herself, so she can better take care of your you can take better care of yourself. So if you have used to getting your identity maybe through being like a workhorse, doing a lot of things, always being perfect, well organized, and productive overall, that might be something that needs to change a little bit. So you are here more for your own sake than for just contributing. Okay, so I call the 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, Nine of Swords. So you're really worried about this, but really everything is kind of fine. This process is naturally, you are supposed to go through it with if we have time to our exposure, like you finally find that your friends is kind of not available and you don't have so much on your agenda, that's a gift. It's like you have been brought a time for vacation, but you are just worried that people don't need you anymore, or that your business is whining, or is withering away, or something else. But it's really not like that. So most these worries are in your head. But also what I said before with the 18 moon, 1 + 8 = 9, so the dark side of the moon, and here 9 of Swords, this is how it can feel to be in that underneath the influence of the moon. If we are not totally self-loving, a lot of wounds might come to surface in these kinds of times, and it's not because it's something new. They have been there for a long time. It's just that you are brought to attention about them. So why you are brought to attention about them, maybe you feel sad or down or depressed or thinking negatively, it's because you need to put attention to it so it can heal, so you can be more free and more complete and more you. So it's not a bad thing, this. Okay, so I call the 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Aquarius viewers. So I want my dear Aquarius viewers to have love in their lives and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. Okay, my dear Aquarius, I'm just going to tune in to you and your energy and your reading for a few seconds. Okay, so my dear Aquarius, this is your future, and this is your now, and this is your past. And in the past here we have the lovely card of 10 of Cups. So 10 of Cups is happy relationship, happy family life, fulfillment when it comes to your creative endeavor or the thing that you do to make yourself happy. It might be a hobby or work or like your life mission or something. 10 of Cups, you can see here, they are like in a break or something from creating pottery here, and you see the rainbow. So it's the like happiness that you get from being with the people you love and doing the things you love. So it's very, very beautiful card, the 10 of Cups. And it's in the past there. So nothing is lost, okay? Even if you feel a little bit damped for the moment, or nothing is lost, okay? And here you have the Prince of Pentacles. It's another earth card. It's usually Taurus, but might be Virgo or Capricorn as well. And it's like a person pausing a little bit or moving very slowly because they don't know where to go from here or where they want to go from here. So this pause that you are experiencing in your life, it might be because you need to regroup a little bit and start to envision the future you want to build from here. And then we kind of need to do it a little bit maybe in loneliness. And we can see this is shy guy with his shield there in front of him. And the horse is waiting for instruction. You can see this on their attention. And here you also have the Sun card. So it's like this right now. So it can be like this later on. You see the horse has changed color to a lighter color, known feelings. The man is now a child that's naked, not behind the shield, and radiant with energy. So it's just like it's like you're charging your batteries and digesting the past and envisioning the future. So whatever you are going through here is not a bad thing. It's actually going to leave room for this later on. This is the third card also for love in the major arcana. It's like the holy matrimony when two whole people is joining in marriage. It can also be like taking home soul parts and therefore becoming whole yourself. And here is the future, so it's going into a later part of June and July, and it's the Strength card. So Strength card is Leo. Also the Sun card is Leo, and so it's showing strength and courage and creations. So when you have gone through this period where you are a little bit more damped and a little bit more careful and slow going and resting a lot, you will have regained your strength and filled your battery with new use, so you can go into the future with reinforced power. Okay, and the board here is being very stubborn. We also see the sword here that he's kind of ready to defend himself with. It now lies in the grass because you don't need to defend yourself anymore when you have regained your strength. Then you just this proud posture of the woman will intimidate anyone that tries to step on her or steal stuff from her or disrespect her in any way. Okay, so here we have the past, and it's 7 of Cups. So 7 of Cups is it challenges, emotional challenges that you are going through. And it's also like seeing yourself in the water, seeing your life in the water, seeing the patterns of your relationship and how they have repeated themselves and why they have repeated themselves. It's also about like when we do different things, we strive to come to perfection or to fulfill our dreams, and sometimes we fail and we are back in the same old. So this can be it's like the primordial swamp. But why you come back here and feel the same hopeless feelings is because you forgot to take the knowledge out of them. So when things repeated itself and you get the same disappointment, like your work situations end the same, your relationships end the same, it's because you need to deal with whatever is here. So this is a challenge too, to be brave enough to face your own emotions and stay with them long enough so that they can heal. And here we have the Tower. So the Tower is a situation where the thing that didn't work needs to fall down and be kind of tear down. So what's really working, the foundation will be left bare, so you can start to build again from a more like solid foundation and build better. So anything in your life that's you might analyze here and see that this is only giving me heartbreak and sorrow, might be things that both you and the divine wants to change or maybe swipe away from your life. This flash here can also be flashes of insight. It might also be becoming suddenly falling in love. It can be many different things, but it's usually like a eureka moment, or the divine is intervening in your life to make some changes. Courses of direction needs to change. You might be very shocked by this event, but it's for the greater good for both you and other people to have this change in direction. So it's like the divine might have talked to you through your intuition and told you that you need to make changes, but you might not have listened, and then kind of the divine takes over the steering wheel and change destiny for you. It might be, for example, if you work in a certain place, you have worked there for a very long time, and suddenly people start to be difficult to work together with, and the situation might become unbearable. And it's not because these people wants to hurt you, it's because the divine is pushing you to change jobs. So it can be things similar to this, like different scenarios where things becomes unbearable for you. You might have had a dream that is impossible to fulfill because this wasn't really your dream. It might just give you a lot of disappointments. Okay, so you're supposed to do something else. And here we have the Two of Wands. So this is about having self-control. It's about seeing the situation, evaluate it, and decide to where to go from here. So it's again this kind of pause where you stay and reflect, and you are not like rushing into anything. You are thinking it through and really trying to decide what will be the best for you. So Two of Wands is having control over a situation. The Tower is very uncontrollable. So it might be that you're trying to control the uncontrollable as well. And that is very hard to do. So we have Five of Wands here. I'm thinking you have an inner conflict because you are used to having control over your life by being maybe very rational, very logical, hardworking, well organized. But now your emotions is here and making things difficult for you. The divine is here making it difficult for you. Two of Wands, you're trying to grab hold and get control over the situation, but really there's a war going on inside. And every entity inside of you needs to be listened to and valued. The King of Swords inside of you that wants to keep everyone safe and in a straight line and doing the right thing so nothing will go bad needs to be listened to. But also maybe the inner child or young boy that needs you to dive deep into your emotions and sort them out also needs to be listened to. And the divine that has the overall map for your life and see where you need to go also needs to be listened to. So the inner conflict here, Five of Wands, might also be, of course, an outer conflict. People not agreeing on how to build this house, or how to deal with this project, or how to raise the kids, or how to move the relationship from here. Might be very different perspective of the future. You have your standpoint here that's very firm. You are not going to budge. You know what you want, what's going to be best for you, and other people have the same thing. So that's why it's becoming like a little bit of a conflict there. So see next card here, and here we have a Four of Pentacles. So that's even more boundaries. The Two of Wands, like taking a firm stand, and here is like building a castle for yourself. So the castle kind of got disrupted here, and you immediately try to build another one. So I'm thinking you are you're fighting windmills here, or making something, I don't remember what, out of molehills. Okay, but so the divine is trying to make you change your direction, but you are fighting very, very hard to keep the direction that you have decided in the first place. Your emotions also may want you to change your direction, but you don't want to, because you want to keep the initial decision that you once take. You are not a quitter. So it makes you a little bit rigid, and it makes you a little bit filled with inner conflicts. What are you fighting so hard for? What is it that you are trying to preserve here? What is it that you're trying to not lose? Okay, because this person is kind of hiding his riches in this box here in the Tower, but you already know what the divine did with the Tower. Okay, we'll see where it goes. It's no big deal here. It's just this with you being in conflict with parts of yourself, and you need to start to figure out how to align this beautifully with yourself again, and find your inner bearing, because I'm sensing that many of you have been fighting very hard for something and might not want to lose it. So you think that this is the ideal thing for your future, but it might be other things that might be more ideal. It can be like a big dream that you had that now is taking too much energy from you. So even if it's still your dream, it might not be possible to get it into like manifestation without you losing your health, or losing your power, maybe need to spend too much time with it and it's too little to be gained. So it might be something like this as well. Okay, so that was in the past, May. So for some of you watching in May, it might still be going on. And this is in the now. So in the now, we have the Two of Pentacles. So that's step-by-step change. So it fits very good with the Prince of Pentacles. You might be dealing with an earth sign that's a little bit stubborn as well, and you have a hard time getting along with them. Maybe you wanted to build something with them, and they are not really sharing either the future or their time or their money or their resources or their home with you. It might be this kind of situation. Also someone making you disappointed because maybe they don't believe in your common dream and they are not providing the resources for you to get there together. So it might be this kind of thing too, and that might feel very loyal. So it might be a situation where you really love a person but they don't really show the love back. Two of Pentacles, someone wants to take it slow. They might also want to see if this is really what they want, and if this is in a love situation, of course you will be feeling wounded, because if someone doesn't immediately feel like you are the one, maybe you don't want to continue investing in that person. If they are not sure, maybe you should be less sure too. If someone doesn't want to invest in you in the same way that you're investing in them, of course we can try. If we are falling in love with someone, we can't expect them to have done the same. We might need to flirt with them and charm them and make them interested in us. But after 2-3 years, you should be on the same page. And if you're still not, so there might be a problem with the foundation of this relationship as well. Next card is Five of Swords, and it comes underneath the Tower. So I'm thinking that there is a situation where you feel a person being disloyal or dishonest or not honoring you and the thing that you have built together. It can also be you becoming angry and aggressive because you are not getting your will through with this, what you have dreamt of, what you wanted to create. So it can be very frustrating. So you can become angry with the people that doesn't help you or doesn't apply to the common work that you need to do to make this project or this relationship come into full bloom. So the Tower and Five of Swords is like a little bit of a thunderstorm going on here. And in the center of this reading we have the Queen of Cups. So someone is very close to their emotion in this situation, but they don't want to be taken advantage of. So we have the Two of Wands above her head here. She's not going to give this priceless gift to just anyone that isn't worth it. So I'm on board with you with that. You shouldn't cast pearls for pigs, okay? So that's a good thing. And here this person is also having their foot in the water. So being able to feel your feelings seems to be very crucial for this. You can love a person but still say no to them if they are not applying themselves to the situation. But a love relationship shouldn't be a game where you win over the other person, because then you are not in a love relationship. You are more in a like siblings rivalry situation. You might be small kids, both of you, trying to get ahead and get more love than the other person. So then you are not in a love relationship. You are more back in a relationship from when you were kids. You are just playing grown-ups, but your emotional life isn't grown up. So if you are in this kind of situation where you're constantly bickering about small things with your partner, try to treat them more like your best friend or a client, where you are a little bit more like professional, but still very empathic towards them and their feelings, but giving more space and freedom, and then see where it goes. If you are, because of this, slipping apart, then maybe this was what the divine was trying to tell you all the time. I know Aquarius can be a little bit cold, but here it seems like you are very sensitive. It might be that you're dealing with a Cancer also, or a Pisces, or a Scorpio maybe. And here we have a Prince of Wands coming underneath the Five of Wands. And we can see that this girl has their back towards them. And we have Two of Wands and Five of Wands. So if it's someone trying to cause a lot of drama in your life, sometimes we can see this with people trying to put down their loved one, so that their loved one won't be so darn sure of themselves. Because if they are so darn sure of themselves, they might not love this person anymore. Okay, then they will know that I am worth more, and they will leave. So we can have people kind of gaslighting us a little bit because they think that they are not worthy of us. So I see here is a person being very enthusiastic, and this girl is having their back turned again. So it might be that you get tired of people acting very dramatic to get your attention. Maybe you don't want to deal with difficult people and difficult situation and disharmonic relationship. You want more peace and quiet. You don't want to unnecessary drama or this like siblings rivalry. You want to be in a grown-up relationship where we treat each other with more humbleness and respect, and like we love the other person in the way that we want them to be happy, not in the way that we want them to make us happy. Of course we should want to become happy too, but I hope you understand what I mean, that if we have both our own and the other person's best before our eyes, sometimes we need to take really difficult decisions. And here we have the Three of Swords underneath the Four of Pentacles. I'm thinking either you, Aquarius, are causing heartbreak to this maybe Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo person, usually Sagittarius, because you play very, very hard to get, or you are very mysterious. It's like you don't share your emotion, maybe because you think that your emotion is scary. That might be one thing, that you are causing heartbreak to a person that really wants to be with you, because you are not showing, you are not like putting your foot into the relationship. But the most likely here is that you don't trust the person that is suiting you or that's wooing you, because they are, you know that they just want things from you. They are not here to be in an equal relationship where you can commit and build something for the future. They are just here to steal your stuff or to make drama or to argue with you. It's not like they want to build something long lasting. This is like for the long haul. This is why the Prince of Pentacles is a little bit shy, because he wants to go slowly forward and feel his way forward, like, can I really trust you? Are you trustworthy? Do you mean what you say, or are you just playing with me? So you might be fearful of someone not being trustworthy, either in love or business or friendship, and that might be why you're holding off. But when we are very controlled and very unemotional and closed off, we can also create this situation, because a person that was once very enthusiastic, if we're always showing the cold shoulder, they will become less enthusiastic, and it's like self-inflicted prophecy, like the prophecy is becoming true because you made it through, because you shunt this person out from your life. So if we are really afraid, for example, of that a friend doesn't want to really be with us, and therefore acting very withdrawn, we might lose that friend because of our own behavior. So you need to look at what's you and what's the other person. And if you feel very anxious and dramatic, you probably have a big deal with this. It doesn't mean that you are supposed to stop feeling what you're feeling, but you need to take responsibility for how you feel. You need to stay with those feelings and give them attention so that they can heal. When you haven't healed them, they will spill over to other people and cause this kind of drama. So try to see things from an above perspective, and don't think in terms of winning and losing. It's a lot of like masculine fives here, battles and conflicts, and I know better than you. No, I know much better. So it's more like, well, it's stupid. So it's much better to not try to win over another person, but be very clear of how you want to be treated and where your boundaries are and what feels good for you and what doesn't feel good for you. So you can be very clear towards your surrounding, what you accept and what you don't accept, what you can tolerate and what you can't tolerate. So then people will treat you with more respect when they know what you are about. If you just become like cold and passive aggressive, they probably don't have a clue what the problem is. So you need to be more communicative with this and be able to tell what's going on, because it's also a teaching situation. If you just shunt this person out without them really knowing why, maybe it's better to say, like, I don't trust you, so therefore I'm not going to invest a lot in you. I think you're cute and wonderful and funny, but for some reason I just don't trust you. Maybe the person wants then to show themselves trustworthy, and then you can let them do that, but they are not here to fix you. If you have an issue of not trusting people, you need to look at those feelings inside of you. This person can't go out of their limbs to try to make you feel happy. You need to do this yourself, heal yourself from the bottom up. So and that's how we want people to take care of us and kind of be able to, okay, I am trustworthy, you can trust me. What actually happened was this and this and this and that. And then we are, okay, fine. But then we can get a little bit addicted to these kind of things, and we want more of it and more of it and more of it. So we are causing drama to get that person to reassure us. And that's where it's go a little bit like into disharmony. It's okay that the person wants to fix things and make themselves seem very loyal, but you need to fix yourself. If you are very anxious of being betrayed or heartbroken, that's something inside of you that's not healed. A person that's whole, they will deal with the heartbreak when it comes. They won't be heartbroken all the time in the relationship when they were supposed to be the most happy. And then when heartbreaks comes, they can say, yes, I told you so. Well, it was you that created it, because you were heartbroken all the time. So the relationship wasn't that harmonic, or didn't give that happiness that it was supposed to give. So I'm thinking you have like a great opportunity here to really see what's your responsibility, what's the other person's responsibility, and kind of take better care of yourself. And if you need to shun someone else because they only come with heartbreak and keep you in the cold, then do it. Then you know what's best for you. You're wise enough to know what's what's going to work with you and not. And here we have the Lord. So that's kind of what I just said. If you know something and you trust, you should trust yourself in what you feel and what you know. Even if you are, like, let's say, incredibly jealous. Okay, side with yourself. Okay, say, okay, I'm extremely jealous and probably this person is unfaithful to me. Okay, and trust yourself, but also then take the consequences out of this. I don't trust this person, so I can't live with them because I'm making my life miserable by living with them because I don't trust them, and I'm making their life miserable because I don't trust them. So then you do the adult thing. And you break up, okay, because you don't trust that person, then they are not for you. And this is going to make you yourself also become less jealous, anxious, all these kind of things, because then you know that there's a leader inside of you that are able to protect you when your intuition is blinking the alarm. And also eventually you might see that, well, the price for being jealous is awfully high. So maybe whatever this person do when I'm not around, as long as I don't know it, it's not a problem. And the day I know it, then there's a problem and I will handle it. Okay, the person will be out the door. So you can become much more adult in this situation, and that's where you're headed. But you need to deal with your own emotion and start to balance them up, because I'm thinking you might be a little bit not really used to taking care of your emotion, and therefore becoming over dramatic, over jealous, over sensitive, and then you need the Lord here to fix the thing by being like, don't invest so quickly in situation that you don't trust, and take better care of yourself when you once are invested, and you will be much more safer. You won't have to feel like a deer close to like the hunter, because this is a little bit what it feels like here. You're not a victim. And here we see you putting up boundaries. You live in your tower. It's not wrecked because you have learned to put boundaries and take better care of yourself. So you see, here it was under siege and maybe under attack, and maybe from your own feelings, jealousy, distrust, all these kind of things. Don't want to be humiliated. But here, when you become a person that you yourself can trust, you will also take better care of yourself, and you will trust other people more. When we don't trust ourselves, we don't trust other people. When we know the most jealous people are sometimes the people that's also most unfaithful. I'm not saying that as a judgment, just as an observation. People that doesn't even think that you could be unfaithful, they are usually undescribably loyal, because they haven't even that thought in their head, so it's not like a possibility. And here we have a King of Cups. So 2 of Wands and King and Queen of Cups. I'm thinking that there's a lovers couple here, or two different situations, 2 different projects that could be married with each other. It's the 2 of Wands, so it's a little bit frosty between these people, but it's also the 10 of Cups here in the margin. So I'm thinking this is a great love story. It's just that people haven't really make their inside into a home, so therefore also every relationship is a little bit uncomfortable, but when you have learned to take better care of yourself and put boundaries and protect yourself better, you can go safer out in the world and not be so feel so fragile. Okay, so Queen and King of Cups. might be more than one person, of course, in this reading as well. And if that is the case, maybe there's a reason for jealousy, but I'm not seeing it in that way, even though there's a lot of people. I'm more seeing it like one person is very emotional and intuitive and feeling like I know how it is, but the other person doesn't want to tell me. And this, it's like a fire person chasing a water person. And we have the Three of Swords indicating maybe betrayal. But then we have this, like someone's trying to protect themselves towards a person that's not interested in even looking in their direction. So what can happen here on another level is that if you ignore someone that is very used to getting a lot of attention, they might try to shunt you out, but it seems like you don't really bother about this if you are the Queen and King of Cups here, because I'm thinking that Aquarius is this Queen and King of Cups because you have been learning for the latest month or year to deal with your emotions. So now you have your emotions in the open, but you might not really know what to do with them. Okay, so now I brought them up. I have started to listen to them, and they are going crazy inside my life. So I'm thinking it's you that's here because you are going in the school of emotions. And here I'm thinking you're doing this actually rather... you are doing this rather great, because here this person tried to cause drama in your life, and even though you are very emotional and feel fragile and all this, you kind of don't even notice the drama anymore, because you have learned to take care of yourself and your own heart. So the person is doing drama and you are unaffected. How great is that? You don't even notice when they are trying to make you upset or other things. You are in much better self-control now. And here we have the lady. So the Lord and the lady, the Queen of Cups and King of Cups. I'm really thinking that this person that's you think is such a problem is really kind of the one, at least for this situation. They are the king or the queen of your heart, but with your own actions in this situation, you are birthing forward something new. It's like a new you that is much more powerful, much more grown up, much more vulnerable, but also stronger and resilient in the same time. So I'm thinking you are becoming more and more whole for every day passing by here, Aquarius. This is also Venus and Taurus. You have also Taurus here. So of course, if we are about to give birth to something new in darkness, usually, from what we saw with your latest reading and the beginning of this. So this time that you spent like in a little bit of solitude and aloneness was like a preparation for what was to come. Something new. It can be a big dream, it can be a company, it can be an actual baby, it can be like your full soul self, lost soul part coming back to you, being integrated in you. It can also be more honor that you are giving to your feminine aspect of you, the one that holds the intuition, holds the heart. You are taking much better care of them, more self-respect. But we also have the Three of Swords and Three, the lady here. So you also recognize that you are in a vulnerable situation, and that might be why you are a little bit shielded, because you know that you are maybe you have, and it's easy for you to fall in love, or it's easy for you to open your heart now to people, so you don't want to expose this vulnerability to whomever. It's going to be someone that's worth it. And here you have a Three of Cups, and it comes underneath Three of Swords. So there's a great love there, but we have the worrying Three of Swords and the Four of Pentacles above the head. So the love is real. It's just how people treat each other that might be a little bit sad in this situation. But it's only you that can change it. If someone is treating you with disrespect, take the consequences. First tell the person, try to give them tools to change. And if that's not possible, you might need to leave the situation. The love is real though, okay? That it's really there for real. It's just, as I said, you need to teach other people how they are allowed to treat you. And then this situation will become much more easier to handle, okay? You yourself will be easier to handle because you will become strong like this. So it's a learning curve, okay? You can also be the very stubborn emperor here, trying to get attention through different drama, like, okay, first I'm flirting with you here, but I don't really mean any business, or you didn't pay attention to me, so I'm going to flirt somewhere else. And neither of this is going to work on this other person, because they are preoccupied with finding true love, not childish love. Okay, so I'll read the center card for you, the Queen of Cups here. Queen, it's in the beginning. Prince, King, Queen. There, Queen of Cups. It's the center card, so it's very important for the whole reading. It kind of ties the reading together. The Queen of Cups is in touch with the most profound aspects of the feminine. She is fully open to the qualities of the goddess that include healing and nurturing, as well as the inner strength that can unite creative imagination with compassionate action in the world. Her ability to connect with these qualities can give her a mysterious, unattainable aura. She does not depend on outside validation for her purpose in life. An excellent mother, therapist, and friend, she is often involved in artistic pursuits or in the healing arts. She can express her emotions freely and can be highly intuitive or psychic. If the card does not refer to you in the reading, it may refer to your mother, to a therapist, or to a woman who inspires love in you and stirs the depth of your emotional nature. Since the Queen of Cups is able to unite dreams and vision and to make them come true in the world, finding this card in a reading may also refer to the profession of acting or to the world of theater and film, where dreams are turned into creative endeavors. It could also refer to any work involved in the field of relationship counseling and healing. So I'm thinking you are in the work of mostly of healing yourself and nurture yourself in better ways, but it can be all of these things that the card said as well. So I will take a card for you from Alana Fairchild. She also was the creator of the Wild Kuan Yin Oracle, but this is the Sacred Rebels Oracle, and I want a card for Aquarius for the month of June. So card for Aquarius in the month of June. Sacred Fool. 40. What a beautiful card. Beautiful soft colors in her hat there. 40. The Fool is a great rebel, able to thwart convention and tell the truth without restraint. Your heart is a wonderful, powerful, sacred fool. It cares not for the right way to do things. It cares not for what the mind says is real and not real. It lives according to an inner wisdom that cannot be dictated or controlled by anything. It loves, it lives, and it is what it is. This oracle heralds a time, now or imminent, when you will feel inspired, alive, and passionate for what you can offer to the world. It says to you, don't try to be appropriate, don't try to be socially acceptable and worry about what others may think about what you are doing. Just be. If you want to wear a mad hat whilst doing so, fine. The Sacred Fool in you is willing to leave behind what has been, because it no longer feels right to stay attached to it. The Sacred Fool in you trusts life completely. It would never occur to this part of you to try and outsmart life or resist its flow. It recognizes that the mind is a monkey puppet on strings. More often than not, it is cajoled into fear when it could be playful, dwelling in the radical spontaneity of life. So the Sacred Fool in you urges you urges your mind to let itself be pulled into joy by your heartstrings, not into fear and doubt by the controlling machines of mass media. The oracle brings you a message. It is time for you to play. It is time for you to let life happen in a completely unreserved, unscripted way. The more bizarre, left of field, unexpected, and apparently ridiculous, the better. This might not feel safe or appropriate at first. That is okay. That is good, actually. It is a sign that you are breaking with your own self-imposed conventions. It is time to move beyond them now, because a bigger life adventure is calling you. This is wonderful news. It is the desire of life to operate more radically through you, so that you become the conduit through which miracles and crazy wild synchronicity can occur. You are becoming more electric. You are more plugged into the apparent randomness of life. Apparent because there is a refined intelligence behind it all. The sacred fool goes with this without having to understand any of it, which is good. Trying to access even one genuine glimpse of life's unfathomable genius would probably make one's head explode. As you take this journey, you might find that people around you are challenged. You might unintentionally cause them to rethink the way they live their lives. They may question whether the way that they are living is the only way for them or even the best way. At first, they may react rather than take responsibility. The sacred fool in you doesn't engage with this. It is what it is, and it rises and falls as it will. It doesn't stop you from your merry dance of unconventional being. So that sounds like a real shake-up for you, Aquarius, but it's kind of what is shaking your life right now, that old things, like old way that you have done things, this very controlled and organized way, that there's a better way, and half of you are allowed to be organized and safe, and the other half needs to be able to be let free to dream and live life fully. So you need to get along with these different parts of you and not see one as better than the other. They are actually completing each other and making you to a more complete and whole being, ready for whatever. So it's actually making you very strong when you can accept both these sides and take them and the gifts that they are giving to you. So I will show you this reading from above a little bit so you can see. So thank you so much, for Aquarius, for watching, liking, and subscribing to my videos. I also want to welcome you back to my June reading, my later June reading that I will perform in the beginning of June. So take really, really good care, and see you soon. Okay, bye-bye.